in case anybody couldn't attend. I guess that's one of the good things about having meetings online. So can you guys all see the PowerPoint I have?
Yes.
Okay, so let me cross out that themes button. So like I said, this is going to be a very short and sweet meeting. Hopefully we'll be out of here within a half an hour.
Good.
This is my goal anyways. So
Mine too.
our first is our update from Alberta Education on classes. So to make a long story short, we've had a bunch of schools contact us to find out about whether or not we can have classes. So we found out today, about 2 hours before this meeting happened. No, it was about 3:30. We got emails saying that we are allowed to follow as schools. So we have to follow whatever the protocol is for schools. So if you have classes from grade 7 and up, including adults, all of those schools must close immediately for in-person learning and can resume on January 11th. If you haven't, and this is where everybody was worried, if you are teaching elementary school, you are able to operate as usual until December 18th. And then from there, you must remain closed until January 11th. So your classes between the January 4th and January 11th must happen online. All other protocols must be followed. Is there anything you wanted to add about that, Nina? Because you were the one in contact with Hillary Coach.
Yeah, I just received exactly what you said. There was nothing more. Only 2 links that provide detailed instructions as were provided by Alberta Ed. So Trudy already sent out that email, and you guys please click it, read it, and if there is question that you have, please send it to me and I'll forward it to Melody. Because you might be in a very unique situations, each of you. Our situation is different, so please read the links, and whatever is there that is not compatible with you or you have questions, let me know. Okay.
I just wanted to jump in. So I know Melody's super busy, so she often takes quite a while to get back.
Yes.
If you are an accredited school or operating as a private school, they usually send those emails out, right, as like Minister of Education boards and stuff. And so I just, I replied all to that. And there's a guy named Paul, and he got back to me like within seconds, and he has been fantastic. So I can forward that name as well. And he also said the same thing to me, and he gave me the information on Friday. So that might be, if you ever need like a response in a timely matter, then I don't know, he would be.
Oh, thank you, Maria. That would be helpful because, yeah, I know some of you needed response right away, but I didn't know that there is a person who is more efficient or have probably more time on hands. So if
he's the deputy minister, right? So he just had, I think, the information right away.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you. If you can forward his name, that would be
sure.
Great, Maria. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's our update from Alberta Ed. So that's the first thing on our agenda. The second thing on our agenda is Mother Language Day. Clearly, we cannot have Mother Language Day in person this year, even if the vaccine were all to roll out by February 21st, we still wouldn't be having in-person Mother Language Day. So we've decided that we're going to do a version of Mother Language Day online. And we're asking that each school send us one video of a performance. And here I have on, oh, how embarrassing. One video of a performance. So the performance, you have carte blanche for how you want to do this. So we know that we obviously cannot get schools all together. So very few of us can get all of our students together to do a play or a skit. But if you're still operating in person, you might be able to do that. Other schools have decided that they're going to tell a story. And then other schools have decided that they're going to put together kind of a theme of artwork that's related to, or a package of artwork. And so they're going to run it on a loop while somebody tells a story in the background. Some people have some singing where people are all singing from different locations and they're all making one giant video of everyone singing the same song. So there's lots of options for how you are going to create your performance. But unfortunately, we can't have every child who wants to do their own performance do their own performance, because then we would have like a 16-hour video that nobody would watch. So every school gets one performance to do, and the performance needs to be done in the heritage language. So if you're doing a song, it has to be in the heritage language, or however if you're doing a play, it has to be in the heritage language.
Just a second, it has to be 3 minutes long, right? Plus 30 seconds.
It can be shorter.
Okay. Yeah, sure, go ahead, Trudy. Sorry, I just wanted to.
Yeah, our 3-minute time limit. And then we're going to ask that each school, in lieu of having an MC, because normally every year for Mother Language Day, we have 2 MCs that stand up and introduce all of the performances. But this year, again, we're not going to be able to do that. So we're going to have each school find their own student who will introduce the MC, or who will introduce the performance. So we're asking that when you record that video, you have the student stand against a white wall. And then this, like if they're on a blank wall, this way, all of the introductions will be similar. In the introduction, they have to name the school. So, hello, my name is Trudy, and I'm from Chonglak Home School. Then they have to explain what the performance is about. And this is all to be done in English. So the performance is completely in the heritage language, and the introduction is completely in English, so that when people are watching the performance, they will understand what's going on. I suppose if you really wanted to put a quick translation into your heritage language, that would be okay. But the introduction has to be very short. It can be no more than 1 minute. So by the time we put the school's introduction together and we put the performance together, it's 5 minutes per school.
And just one little tiny note, look at Trudy right now. Can you see how she looks nicely in that little square? So because some of you might think, okay, the student's body has to be seen in the whole picture. No, try to make that exactly that pose as Trudy has, because in that case, whoever is viewing the video would have a nice image of your MC, of the student, speaking clearly about your performance. In that case, see, like this is doable. My face and shoulders in the frame, rather than the whole tall person or a small person in the frame. That's a bit different. So just take a little note about it. It's better to have the face and shoulders in the picture of the MC, and in that case, we will be able to coordinate it. Sorry, Trudy, go ahead.
So at the end of all of this, you'll be sending me 2 performances, and these 2 performances we're going to take to have somebody professionally edit them. So at the end, what we're hoping for at the end of all of this is every school puts together a performance. Each school's kind of mini performance, 5-minute piece, will be one small video that we're going to be able to put on the ILA website, and the school will be able to use that video for promotion as well. And then we'll take all of the videos together and mash them together, so we have a big Mother Language Day performance that kind of stands the test of time. So kind of a bunch of smaller videos that are professionally kind of packaged together, and then one big one of all of us with all of our performances. So that is our goal. So, and the deadline for this is January 21st, because we are hoping we have to send all of these videos to the editor, and they will, so that they can have it done by February for Mother Language Day. So the official launch date of this is Mother Language Day. Are there any questions about this?
Yeah, Trudy, do you, if we do something for Christmas at our school, like if we do like a little puppet show or something of the story of Jesus, for example,
Mhm.
and the kids, is that okay, or you don't want?
No.
So the theme is myths and legends and origin stories. So if you think that the birth of Jesus fits into that, because I don't want to say yes, that's fine, and then somebody says Jesus isn't a myth, and then they get mad at you.
Oh, okay.
So it works perfectly fine for our purposes. We just don't want somebody coming back on you.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So it's the same thing, I guess, for any religious celebration. So contrary to what I just said, Maria, if you guys talked about Christmas trees, like Christmas trees really have nothing to do with Jesus, right? So that would be a legend of why we have Christmas trees. I don't think anybody would complain about that.
Okay.
I don't
You
know.
just have to rationalize somehow what you're doing, so that MC could provide some comments about it. So it's up to you how you frame it.
Yeah. Yeah. We have about 3 weeks left, and one
I
of those
know.
days we're filming it, right? So that's what we're practicing on right now. And then in January we're not going to have classes on the 11th, so we won't have enough time in 1 or 2 weeks to get something else out of them, right? So we wanted to try and use that.
I think that would be fine to use that, but however you do that, make sure you don't say we're doing this as a myth and a legend. Make sure it's very clear in the introduction. This is the story of Jesus, who is so important to us as Greek people.
Okay.
Right? Like I don't want anybody coming in like burning me
And
down.
then you would have like 200 Greek gods from ancient times giving you a bad look.
Yeah, we don't want to
I'm ready for all the slander. I don't think people will care, but I'll see. Yeah.
Just whatever you do, we are happy with, because we know some schools aren't even operating, so we don't even know how they're going to do it. But for other people, just make sure it's clear, like you're not saying Jesus is a myth. That's all. That's all I'm saying, man. Or Allah or whoever else. Please do not.
This is a free country. She can say whatever she wants.
Yeah, we don't want anybody burning us. So
yeah.
I'm not in for the heretic label.
If we don't submit something, is that okay too, or do we have to?
Well, nobody's going to come over to your house and break your kneecaps, but we would really, really, really like you to.
Or I was also thinking, if you have something that you've done in past, that would be like a last case scenario, when you just really go through your archive and provide us with very nice performance that you did in the past.
Right.
That might be an option.
So here's what we're doing for my school. I'm giving away my school's performance, but we're telling the story of our school name, which is Lac Home. And so it comes from a myth about a god and a dragon, or a fairy and a dragon, and they made a whole bunch of eggs. And that's why the Vietnamese people are dispersed throughout Vietnam. So each of the kids is making a picture for us of one part of the story. And then we're putting all of the pictures together in a stream. And then we're narrating the story. We're having one person narrate the story.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, that's good.
So that works for my school. I don't know what would work for anybody else. Other people maybe can have people together and do a song. Other people.
That would be fantastic. Yeah, that's fantastic idea for schools that have more students, because they can just send in pictures and somebody is narrating the story. If there are drawings of your myth, of your legend, and somebody is narrating the stories throughout or singing a song, that's also doable. So you don't actually have to meet in person.
That's good. Yeah.
Or I've also seen there was a song played through Zoom. The kids were connected, and each of them had a little, like a tambourine or little, drums, little this and that, little musical instruments, and they were playing, and it was like a live concerto, and they haven't met in person, but they were online, and it was recorded, and there you go.
So we know that the Isla body has amazing ideas, and they think of things that are way better than we can come up with. And so we're open to whatever. So we're just hoping that all of the schools will have something fantastic, that we can make a bunch of little promotional videos. We're trying to do our best with the COVID situation, right? So we just don't want to ignore Mother Language Day. So that's where we are for that. Now, the Mother Language Day book. Next slide. So the deadline for this is a little bit later. It's February 21st. And we are not going to lie. We don't know what our funding situation is yet, because with everything that's going on in the government, we're not sure about what our funding is. So we're waiting patiently for that. Normally, our Mother Language Day book is done and printed through money that we get from the Alberta Association of Multicultural Education. There's no reason to think that they will not fund us this year. We're keeping our fingers crossed because we volunteered for their casino. We filled in lots of shifts for their casino. So we're hoping.
Thank you, Trudy. Trudy's family did that.
Trudy's family as well as Jeff Bow.
So thank you for that.
So anyhow, so we're still hoping that that's going to happen for the Mother Language Day book. But in worst case scenario that we don't get funding for the Mother Language Day video, there's a possibility that we will use that money for the video instead of for an actual print copy of the book. So we hope we can still print the book regardless, but like I said, it's not a promise as of yet. But worst case scenario, we're still doing the book. We will just not print paper versions. We will just kind of make an online version.
I will send you an email from our organization, Slovak one, ISEA. They made a newsletter that actually it opens online as a book. So you can flip the pages, and it is a book, but it's virtual. And it's an app that you can download. I'm going to get in touch with her, and I'll send you the video just to give you how it looks like. So I think it might be neat, actually. Even if we don't get the funding, that's an option.
Just to keep in mind that each copy of the Mother Language Day book works out to what I think last year it was like almost $20 per book. So like it's a big expense to do that book. It's over $5,000. So we hope we can still do it, but we might not have the funding for it. But either way, no matter what, the book is still getting done. We're still making it. It just might not be printed. So the deadline for the book is February 21st, 2021.
Judy, it says February 1st on the slide. So is it February 21st?
No, sorry, February 1st, because
February 1st.
We will have at least an online version of it by Mother Language Day. And then, so every school is going to have 7 pages plus 1 page of introduction. The theme for the book remains the same, of myths and legends, and you can submit as much work as you like, but your school will get 7 pages. This might be flexible if we're not printing an actual version of the book. Maybe we can add a little bit more, but we're trying to hope to keep every school at 7 pages. So any questions about the Mother Language Day book?
Trudy, hi. I'm Sojuna from Juneri School of Nepali Language. I have a question. like last year, if we perform, then we don't have to submit work for Mother Language Day book. And if you submit Mother Language Day book, we don't have to perform. And is it same this year too?
We're more flexible this year because we're making the videos, and so we're hoping, and we're not asking everybody to sit together in the same auditorium. So sometimes if we have too many performances, then nobody will sit through them. But this year, we want as many small videos as we can so that we can make them for promotion for the schools. But if you really don't want to do one of those two things, you don't have to, right? We're democracy.
Sure. Okay, sure. Thank you.
But we're open to people doing both.
Okay.
Yeah, and I would like to.
You are open for both, right? Like for both.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Thanks.
But if you want to choose, please choose performance. Because I'd like to get you on TV. If it works.
Okay, it's not that like last year we did performance. This year we have to choose a day book. It's not like that. I can choose anything. Right?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Likely I will choose performance because I have already one performance ready for that. Yeah.
Perfect.
And thank you, Trudy. Thank you,
We
Nina.
already have one.
Yay!
Cool.
Okay, so this is the Mother Language Day book. If there's no other questions about this, on Thursday we have a PD session with Renata. So Ila's very own Renata, she does work with Alberta Health Services about bullying in the workplace, and so she's going to put on a session for us. And it's on creating positive and healthy work environments. So she's going to help people to try and figure out about microaggressions and micro affirmations, or how to deal with microaggressions by giving micro affirmations. So often in schools, I've had many people contact me throughout the years that I've been coordinator. Trudy, what do I do with my board member? I have this psycho parent on my board and they keep doing this to cause all of these problems. Or I have these parents in the school who do this and this and this. Or I have this one teacher who's so difficult, she does this and this and this. So if you have situations like that, this is definitely the workshop for you. So she's got some really good advice about how to navigate difficult groups of people.
And this is perfect PD certificate to have for your CVs, especially if you teach at regular accredited schools and of course for your heritage schools. So if you can, advertise this among your teachers, that would be great.
Yeah, an email is coming out right after this presentation, but this was also in the newsletter. So, and then on December 14th, which I know is close to Christmas, but we want to make sure we get this in. We are so lucky to have Guta Desmarais, who's going to do a PD for us. So she is Inuit, and so I don't know if the people here know this, but if you want an Alberta teaching certificate, you have to prove you have knowledge in First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people. And so we are responsible for being the change that we want in the world, right? And as heritage people, we want everybody to be respected and everybody's culture to be respected. And so, but we can't respect other cultures if we don't know about them. So she's giving us a talk about what it was like for her to grow up in Nunavut, which, and growing up near Baffin Island. So I attended a PD workshop from her this summer when I was doing my leadership training course, and she is amazing. She had to go to school to learn English the same way that many of you have to go to school to learn, or like went to school to learn English. So she also talks about the story of what it was like to grow up as an Inuit child and to be in a family where people had residential schools. So she's going to talk about all of that. So, like I said, it's going to be a fantastic presentation, and we're so glad to have her. She's doing curriculum development work for the Alberta Teachers Association right now. But one thing about her presentation is she will not allow us to record it. So if you do not come on Monday, December 14th, too bad, so sad for you. You miss a fantastic presentation. So that is all I have for everyone tonight. And thank you for coming. Do we have any questions?
Maybe, Trudy, do we have any update on mentorship program?
No, I don't have one.
Okay.
But December 10th is the deadline to submit for that, right? So
please, please, if you guys are interested in mentorship program, especially if you're tight on money, but also we can't guarantee, we don't know how much funding we will receive, so it's difficult to say. But still, please submit your application so that we could pair the schools for the program.
Thank you, ladies.
So, are there any questions?
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Hi. I didn't get like with the Mother Language Day. I understand the schools will take the video or any performance, but so you will that day you will present it online, or there will be some Zoom meeting, or how will you present it? I don't know.
So we're working on that too. We're hoping that we can put it online and we can live stream it. But even if we can't live stream it, then maybe we can make a giant video that we can give to people and burn it onto a disc. So we're trying to figure out, that's part of the solution when we get them together, and we find out what the editors of the videos can do for us.
Okay, thank you.
But I'm really hoping that on the day somewhere in morning news, or I can't promise that, of course, we didn't even send out the invitation letters, but we would really love if we can put it, maybe even a shot of it on TV, just for the reminder to the rest of the world that there are these schools, they are doing all the hard work, and it is Mother Language Day, and we need to celebrate it, even if we can't offer a performance in real life. So yeah, it is a strange situation, and we will be also, of course, as I mentioned, sending emails to Mayor. Although he decided not to run for the second term, we will be inviting him to make a little speech for us. Sadia Khan too, and a couple of more people. So there will be speeches in our video. So it will be really like an official piece.
Okay.
We will see what will come out of it. We are not editing it. We are not professionals. I will be sending it to a professional little business here in Edmonton who has received several awards for their work. And hopefully they will do a good job. So even if you run a little bit overboard, like 30 seconds or something up to a minute with your performance, that's okay. They will be the ones kind of, cutting the edges or working with the piece. And we will see. Nobody knows at this point what will be the final product, to be honest. It pretty much depends on what you guys do and what each of us do. We are trying to coordinate it as best we can, but it is a challenging thing, for sure.
Okay, thank you, ladies.
So if you don't have any questions, no more questions?
I just was wondering, why is Mother Language Day in February? Is there a specific reason?
Well,
Judy, you're mute. Judy, you're mute. You're on mute.
How embarrassing. Yes, there's a reason it's in February. So Mother Language Day started simply in relation to right beside Pakistan, Bangladesh. So Bangladesh was taken over by Pakistan, and they had a bunch of university students who went in and protested the fact that they were being forced to learn Urdu instead of Bangla, their national language. And so kind of these university students went and protested, and on Mother Language Day, well, it wasn't then Mother Language Day, on February 21st, the military came in and killed them. So they're officially known as the martyrs. And because of their struggles to have their language respected, they celebrate Mother Language Day on that day. And Mother Language Day is actually a national holiday in Bangladesh.
Okay, that's another thing too. It's also based on lingua franca, and that happened. Oh gosh, I can't remember now. It's over 10 years now, when Olenka was still one of our advisors, and she was really very, very much involved with what's happening in Europe. And it was Europe that really started working on what day should be called a Mother Language Day. That's when we became part of lingua franca, and that was way back 10 years ago. Yes.
I actually think that would be a great idea to put this history piece at the beginning, as an introduction, because I don't think people know this history behind the Mother Language Day. So yeah, now I guess we have doors open. We can really do whatever we want with this. And I think it's a great idea, because before, during the Mother Language Day performance, I don't think we were mentioning history of it, were we?
No,
we have before.
Olenka Bilas that would always come and do a presentation.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, she had not been invited for quite a few years now. So maybe, Trudy, you can talk to her and maybe figure out again, because she started it with the history when we got involved with European lingua franca. That's how we even won. Okay, if you remember, I think $2,000 or $5,000 from Europe.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just wondering that it just seems like we're all kind of with a date because the way things are going. I was just wondering if possibly to move it. I didn't know the significance, so that's why I thought I'd ask.
No, it's a great question, and it's kind of an unfortunate time to do it in Alberta, right? Like, it's miserable weather, or else it's finally feeling nice and you don't want to be stuck in a hall. Like, it's an odd time to have it.
Yeah,
But
I'm just not sure. Yeah, I'm just not sure what we can do, just because now the way our classes have changed, that there's no language instruction. It's just online for the next 2 weeks and the week when we get back. So I'm not sure.
Sophia, do you think there's one kid in the school who could do something?
I'm sure. I'm sure I can ask a handful of kids, and they for sure would do it. I'm sure parents would give us the okay. But is that okay?
Sure, because you know what? This is an odd year, right?
Yeah.
So if your school can put together a brother and sister who do something small that was going to advertise your program, it's a whole lot better than nobody advertising your program.
Absolutely. I was sitting here trying to rack my brain, trying to think of what we could do. But if that's okay, then I can have a handful of students, and I'll email my principal and see if that will be okay with her. We also have to send out a different FOIP form, because it's going to go
public.
General public, right? So, okay. Well, thanks for the idea. Then I'll work on that right now. I'll email her now, and we'll see how that goes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Please feel free, if you're in the process of making the videos and you come across anything that is technical issue, or you need help really because you don't know what to do, let us know, and we try to solve it for you.
And I did have one more question. Sorry. Now that I may be possibly doing this video, what format do you guys want it done? Because I could do a screencastify and share it through Google Drive, but is that good?
We have no idea. So we're working on getting those kind of final details from the editor as well. Nina's been in contact with them. But I would think,
so just let us know.
But for the start, I would strongly suggest to watch the PD we put online that Susanna and Sophia made for us, how to screen it properly. I think that is helpful. So whatever advice is there, that's a starter. And then if you have some major technical issues, I don't think it matters if you screen it cell phone, it has to be on the like a tripod, of course, because you don't want it to shake. There are lots of ways of doing it, or even the program. But what matters is that when you click the button, you can actually see the video, and I'm sure the person, the professional will be able to edit it. And the worst case scenario, if he says, "Oh, this is too blurry," or "This is not going to work," well, then we will just ask you to provide the best pictures you have, maybe, and just to tell the myth as a story behind what is going on, just to have something. We can still find the plan B that is easy and fast. And yeah, hopefully, yeah, it just really depends on how you want to do this. Sorry,
I may not be able to record them. I may have to use something like Testify where they're going to record themselves. So that's why I was wondering if it mattered how.
Sure. No, it doesn't. Yeah, sure. Record word is the most important. How, which program, it's completely up to you.
Okay, great. Thank you.
No problem. Okay, so if you guys have no more questions, I think we can finish. If you still have some questions later on, just send us an email, and yeah, we will respond.